HD2, your
News Talk 640 WFNC. We're going to get right into it because the mayor's time is going to be shorter than he expects. He will get the big brass boot sooner than anticipated. Kenny, I got us all up on the screen right here. The good mayor is here. You want to say hello? He said you were kind of quiet over there. Oh, sucks. Here we go again.
Morning.
You know. Got some spinners for you.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't got time to chat.
You know, I don't know what it is about me. You can't hear Kenny?
Pardon me?
Can you hear Kenny now?
I don't know. I'm staying out of it. Okay.
Yeah, but
There it is.
but I can't turn it up so loud because it kind of gets worse.
Yeah. I've got a note for the engineer. Okay,
That's
we're doing
okay.
all right.
Mr. Mayor, how are you?
Good morning. How you and Kenny doing this morning?
We're in here.
You know, I
Back.
get here early and get kicked out sooner. What is that all about?
Well, no, you came in at 20. If you come in at 10, you have 10 more minutes. But, you probably stopped and got a bagel or something. Mr. Mayor, there's a lot going on this weekend with
Yeah.
the Dogwood Festival
Sure.
and the Crime Stoppers thing, data centers, and lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so it's my understanding that you want to talk a little bit about the Dogwood Festival.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, great, stellar event. 30, 40 years we've had the Dogwood Festival in our community. I do have to, first of all, let me take my hats off to Caitlin Suez, the new Dogwood Festival executive director. She seems very sharp. She seems that she understands what it takes to continue to make this a stellar program. Unfortunately, there was I won't say it was an opinionated article that was put out. It was a little disappointing. I wanted to clear up a few things that were put out there. I know Bill Bowman for some time, and I like Bill, and the up and coming is not doing that well. So I know he puts some kind of spirited things in there to get readership. But there were some statements made that the Dogwood Festival's decline. The city has supported the Dogwood Festival. Prior to me being mayor, roughly 90 to 100,000 in in-kind services. They came a few years back and asked for about 15,000, which we granted, and then this year, I think the request was about 50 to 75,000, which I think the votes are there to do that. So we certainly want to make sure that this continues to be a stellar event. It's certainly a positive to our community. I think Ms. Suarez gets it that you have to continue to morph and change these things. A few years ago, I did, when Karen King was there, I was the mayor pro tem and asked about, how the entertainment could be more diverse. We're a diverse community. I use the Azalea Festival as an example, a very hugely successful annual program in Wilmington where they have diversity of genres of music. You're a DJ, Gilbert. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
So they have from Flo Rida to Dustin Lynch to Chase Rice to Little John, and it works out well, and it's been very successful. So I think Ms. Suarez will continue to do what needs to be taken. You can't take a 90s model and expect it to apply in the future, but I think she gets it. Looking forward to a couple 100,000 people over the course of the next several days coming to downtown and sharing in that, and we're looking to putting our best foot forward. So wish her much success. I think she has some great entertainment, and she's given the city some great invitations to go and share. And like you said, I think that kicks off tomorrow. So we're looking forward to a great weekend with the Dogwood Festival.
All right, well, 2 points I want to make in what you said. First of all, Bill Bowman, who's the publisher of the up-and-coming weekly, when you talk about an editorial piece, that is exactly
Yes, an
what
opinion.
it is.
Yeah.
And he is entitled to make his opinion.
Sure.
And so I never criticize someone who writes an editorial piece
Yeah.
just because they're entitled to do that.
Yeah.
And it's his publication. This is how he sees it, and that's what editorials. I just had Myron Pitts in here yesterday. He's the editorial writer for the Fayetteville
But what you
Observer.
can't do is make statements that are not true. So even if it's your opinion, I say Gilbert's got a bald head, but he's got a head full of hair. Now,
well, I do have a head full of hair. I just turned it inside out to stay cool. See, so there's a lot of ways to look at what's being said.
Right.
And so, for you to say something, not you, but I'm just saying in general, for someone to criticize someone who's written an editorial
No, it wasn't
piece.
critical.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in editorial pieces for whatever reason. That is the perspective of that person who is writing it. And if they've got the information wrong, they've got it wrong.
Right.
And if people want to call them to the carpet about that, then they right there are editorial piece. And that's how that is. Secondly, you make a good point about running an event in 2026 based on the 1980s or 1990s model. So many things have changed in terms of how artists are paid, how record companies are, how radio stations operate, so that what we were able to do in the 80s in terms of the Dogwood Festival, in terms of bringing Hootie and the Blowfish here and name acts, has changed. And I'm not sure, was there a point where the Dogwood Festival had a concert that was down at the Crown that was associated with it?
I'm not sure. It may predate me, but like you said, my wife always says she works in a business center where it says, "Well, hey, this is a free service." She said, "Nothing's free. Someone's always paying for it." So the question is, as you said, that these artists have now gotten new business models that maybe. All the events are not free, but I'm not sure. But as you get better entertainment, maybe some things are charged down the line. But
well, I mean, it's my understanding even the Yin Yang Twins gave the city a break in terms of coming to perform.
Sure.
So and you look at it and you say, well, how come we couldn't have someone better than that? One thing I can say about Caitlin is she has a very thick skin.
Yeah.
And you need that if you're going to be in this position to not let things impact you emotionally when you're trying to do a job and put this thing together to try and track 100,000, 200,000 people to the city for an event that we've had for 40 some odd years.
Yeah.
And so things change and you make adjustments and you move on to the next thing. And I think you always, from my military perspective is, let's do the after action report. And let's say, how can we make it better next time? What went right? What went wrong? But mostly important, what went right?
Right.
And let's focus on the good.
And I think what we have to do too, and I am being a little bit more intentional about this. The city, the county, PwC, all of our institutions have corporate relationships. We don't have the corporate sponsorships that other communities have. So festivals like the Dogwood Festival should be getting the truest sponsorship. It should be getting some of these places that the city and the county and the PwC do business with, and that would also help. Bring in some additional revenue.
And I think that's up to the city and county leadership
to
jump on me. Hey, Mr. Mayor.
I'm on it.
Okay. All right. Then enough said about that.
Yep.
We're going to enjoy it this weekend and have a good time.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it. Weather should be beautiful.
All right. Data centers things. Now, the county is voted to have a moratorium.
Public
hearing, right. That's going to happen on the 18th of May in the courthouse.
Yep.
City has toyed with this, and talking with Myron Pitch yesterday, he's been to a lot of these meetings.
Yeah.
I don't go out to these meetings. I go home. I go to bed. Yeah, I'll talk about
live stream.
Hey, look, I'm not coming. But the thing is, because Myron has been there, he's pretty up to date on this. He's made mention that you don't want a moratorium, but just maybe a 90-day delay. That wouldn't be necessary a moratorium. What is your perspective on it?
A moratorium is nothing more than a temporary pause, but it comes with certain legal requirements and barriers that you have to meet. You have to say what the end game is, what research specifically you're looking to obtain. And so the attorney is going to give us what the definition of moratoriums are and what the state of North Carolina says you have to do when you do it. I think the goal that I've heard and the concern, if there's any from the community, is that do we know as much as you can know about these? So, is this a rush decision? What's different from the city and the county is our staff started working back in September to find research to put some protections in place. Right now, if a data center applicant shows up and makes an application, we don't have any rules that apply to it, and so it's a individual decision by Doug or the city council, and it doesn't have any criteria. So the 90 days will give us an opportunity to talk to the community, to hear the concerns, to also do any research that the staff hasn't done. I think they've done a great job compiling, putting almost 40 or 50 recommendations in place to make sure that they don't go into neighborhoods, that they protect underserved communities, they protect our water. Gilbert, I want to say this real quick, and I saw my good buddy come in, and means that the boot is coming. He's polishing up the boot. But, I was looking there. There's a partnership. You can go online to Vertiv, but they were saying now that there's a partnership between Caterpillar and some of these larger power producers to where you bring your own power, bring your own water type models. So some of the concern about power usage in these data centers are changing because the technology is changing. But at the end of the day, Wake County has 10. The Triad area has 7 or 8. And Mecklenburg County has several. And so I don't think Cumberland County can be oblivious to say that we don't want to make sure that we take part in future and forward thinking, but be responsible.
Yeah, and our Cracker Jack producer, Kenny Hitman McLean, he did a little research.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was the one who came up with the numbers here.
Okay.
Kenny, you were looking at this and found out how much water these things use.
Yeah.
500,000 gallons per day, which is typical. 110, this is a 100 megawatt data center, can use about that. Up to 1.3 million gallons a day of hot or even heavy cooling, right. Larger scales, 5 million gallons a day. It's an awful lot of
those are
water.
the original models. Now, the Apple model uses far less. They've got a different way to cool it. You got to think about it. PwC has capacity to do about 86 million gallons a day, and then this water would be cooled, treated, and replaced. And so you have to put that in perspective and just also think that you have to do it in a responsible way.
Yeah, and Kenny, you saw this information late last night and kind of dove into it, and you were kind of intrigued with it.
I went down the rabbit hole because it goes on and on, but it's really interesting because there's a lot more effects to this. And all I have to say to add on to that is I don't think until I read this, evaporation is a big thing too. This heated water evaporates. So yeah, you can say you're putting it back in, and yeah, there is recirculating water going on now. And so yes, there is a loop, but still there's things to be wary about. That's all I've got to say about that.
Well, look, I appreciate your input, and you're digging that up for us. As I put the sky cam on up here, another guy who's concerned with water is right beside you.
Nice segue.
Hey, what do we do here? We'll talk to you about not necessarily data centers and everything, but it's always good to have Captain Stephen Shakeshaft, who is with the Fayetteville Fire Department. You're a public information guy, and he's getting ready to come up here next. Mitch Colvin, it is time for me to break out the boots.
I tell you the truth.
But it's always good to talk with you, and the continuity of the conversation is pretty good because, again, in talking with Myron Pitch yesterday, we spend an awful lot of time on the data center. It is important to people in this community.
Do your research to understand it, and that's what we plan to do. So I ask council that let's take 90 days and dive into it and find the best decision for our community.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Kenny, right now, which way are you going? Because we spend a lot of time on this.
Let's go straight to weather with Laura Dunsing and Fayetteville's post-dependable forecast.
Our Thursday will be mostly sunny and warmer with a high of 88. Overnight will be mostly clear with a low of 61, and Friday will be mostly sunny with a high of 90. Saturday, another warm day with high temperatures near 90, but an approaching cold front will bring rain late in the evening as well as into early Sunday with slightly cooler temperatures next week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much. Right now, 61 degrees in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also Fort Bragg. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. See how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and progressive.com.
Hi, I'm Tony Hare with the Way Too Real Community Center, located at 2400 Murchison Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina. All around the country, people and communities are dealing with basic needs, mental and behavioral health issues, and education issues. But here in our city, Way Too Real wants to help you in each one of those areas. And in order to continue to do so, we would like for you to go to our website at WAY2REAL.life and hit the donate tab. Donate whatever amount feels good to you. Help us continue to meet the needs of our community. Keep living Way Too Real.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And